Good morning. Today is the last session of this first level of Learn Vocabulary with Ramesh. In this series, in this first level, we have 25 chapters, 25 words. And these 25 words are your essentials. If you really want to learn English language, specifically you want to learn how do native speakers use familiar words in an interesting way. In last 14 classes we have discussed for 13, specifically in last 13-14 classes we have discussed how to make a tryst with these so much familiar words, and then how to decide to make a change to your vocabulary. And in this last session of this level 1, that is chapter 24 and 25 of level 1, in all these sessions I have enjoyed a lot, and I hope you have also enjoyed these sessions. In all these classes, my primary purpose was to give you a feel that language learning does not necessarily require Hindi translation. If you start with familiar words, familiar phrases, and then you learn how to substitute and replace those phrases, you can have a tremendous change in your ability to communicate in English. And for this, we have shared 5 books with you on our official Telegram channel, and it is expected that you will often go through those books and try to gain as much as you can do. Language learning requires patience. It requires interest, passion. I have tried to maintain my passion for last 14, and today is the 15th class, so I have tried to maintain at least regularity so that we complete all these 25 chapters, these 25 words. And this is a wonderful way of learning language. This is the only sustainable method also. When you read a story and you have a word, then you can easily contextualize how this word changes its meaning. In all these sessions, I had one purpose, that we have to break the myth. Language learning, specifically any foreign language learning, requires translation. It does not require that much. So what does language learning require? Consistency. And then patience. Most importantly, you must have the hope. You must have a feel for future. Maybe in the beginning you may have some difficulties. Sometimes it may appear that, will I be able to improve my English language really? Or it will become another futile exercise. But this is not the case. If you are consistent in your efforts, persist in your learning, and you're passionate about it, you will definitely make a change. You will make a positive change which is noticeable by one and all. First, you will start realizing your comfort, then your friends and the members of your family, they will also start identifying that something is definitely happening in you. And what is that? That is the change. When you are doing a course in language learning, you are not only learning words, you are also improving your ability to see the world in multiple perspectives. When people are just doing the routine ways, then definitely they will have routine ideas, routine thinking. The perspective is not widened. Doing a course in language learning means widening your perspectives, and you will come to know the stories. If you are doing it in formal setting, like in a classroom, as you are doing it. So in this session, we will do two more words. At the same time, I will just try to go a bit beyond and set the line of action for tomorrow onwards. What after these 25 chapters? How can we do it? How can we improve our communication? So see, here we have, chapter 24, the title of the chapter 24 is The Will is Fate. So the first question is, what is fate? Fate is like, a fair, but it has a different purpose. The purpose is to raise some money. So you organize, we have a school fete where we raise some money, and that money is donated to some orphanage or to some other institution which requires which is engaged in some charity. So the proceeds, the money collected, will go for the welfare of the needy. So see, the will is fate. Fate is कोई जलसा हो सकता है, कोई मेला हो सकता है, but the money collected will go for some charity, right? So the will is fate, and the word of the chapter is fair. Now, fair has many meanings. Fair is an adjective, fair is a noun, and fair has a homophone, F-A-R-E and F-A-I-R, and there is a difference. So first things first, when I say fair, it does not mean F-A-R-E. This is the charge, the service charge you pay for moving from here to there. If a passenger moves, it is fair. If goods move, it is freight. So what is the, fare? What is the fare for Jaipur, from Sikar to Jaipur, or it can be Delhi to New York? So it can be railway fare, it can be airfare. So suppose you are moving via air, that is air fare, right? Railway fare, airfare, roadways fare. So what is that? FAR or FAIR? FAIR is your color of skin is fair. So fair means equality, justice, complexion, and this fair means किराया, इसका मतलब माल भाड़ा, and Then we have, how the weather is. Weather is fair. If the weather is fair, it means it is dry, it is fine, it is sunny. And if weather is rough, it is inclement. How is the weather today? It is inclement. Means it is stormy, it is windy, or it is not dry, it is not fine, it is not sunny. How is the weather? Weather is inclement, means it is rough. Got it? So thank goodness the weather is fair. It was supposed to rain, but it did not. So if it is raining, maybe the weather is awesome, so it's a rainy day. But when it is raining, you cannot move freely. You cannot do what you want to do. At least rain restricts at least some part of your life. So weather is not fair, and here fair means I cannot do what I want to do. So at least some part of your life gets sacrificed. So how is the weather? Weather is fair, or weather is inclement. Inclement means it is rough. Then we have, you're supposed to rain, be supposed to. If something is be supposed to, it means it was likely to, be likely to. Be likely to. It was supposed to rain or it was likely to rain. मतलब ऐसा लगता था कि it is going to rain. It is going to rain means it is going to rain means it is likely to rain, or it is supposed to rain. The clouds declared that it is going to rain, but it did not rain. Okay, some of the students are there. Okay, is it clear now? I mean, just tell me the voice is clear or not. Some of the students are there. Voice is not clear. Is it clear now? If the voice is clear now, hello? Please comment and let me know if the voice is clear or not. Okay, there is echo. Okay. Is it all right now? There is some other noise. Okay. Hope this is clear now, right? So here we have the word. So shall we start it again? Good morning. Good morning. Session of our learn vocabulary with Ramesh. And we are doing, the level one vocabulary building. It is for beginners. And in last days, 40 sessions, I have tried to remain consistent, passionate, and I have just enjoyed it a lot. Today is chapter 24 and 25. So let's start with chapter 24. The title of the chapter is The Village Fate. The fate means uh, a gathering where people gather, they go out, they play, they win prizes, they participate in some competitions, and this is how money is collected, and then this money is donated for some charity work, or it is donated to some charity organization. Word of the chapter is fair, and thank goodness the weather is fair. When weather is fair, it means it is not rough, it is not stormy, it's not windy, it is not inclement, it is settled. So weather is not fair or weather is fair. Weather is not fair means it is rough or it is not dry, it is not fine, it's not clear, it is rough. And rough means it is inclement, so watch the word inclement. Weather is fair, or the opposite of fair is inclement. And thank goodness the weather is fair. And there is one more spelling that sounds almost the same. FAIR and FARE. That is fair. And this fare means charges for moving you from here to there. So charges for moving passengers have to pay. Passengers have to pay fare. And for the movement of goods, we pay freight. Then you have fanfare, with a lot of celebration. The day was celebrated with a lot of fanfare. That fair is for celebration. So you can see here, the weather was fair in the morning, but then it began to rain. And here you can see it was supposed to rain. Be supposed to rain means be supposed to. If something is be supposed to, मतलब आपको लगता है, that means it is a supposition that it is going to happen this way. So it is likely to happen, be likely to happen. If it is be bound to happen. If it is bound to happen means it will definitely happen. So if something is bound to happen, it is supposed to happen, it is likely to happen, it means this is likelihood. So it seems, if this will continue, then this will happen. That is, it is supposed to happen, it is likely to happen, it is bound to happen. That's there. So see, thank goodness the weather is fair. It was supposed to rain, said Miss Thompson to her friend Mrs. Patterson. They had both just arrived at the village fete, and this village fete, to find that a fair number of people had got there. They were already present there. They got there before that. They must have opened the gates early. I mean, the gates were open so people could enter. They must have opened the gates early. That's not fair. And here, fair means that's not justifiable. It means that is not like what we call justice. That is not reasonable. That is not proper. So, a fair number of people means a good number of people. That is sizable number of people, a considerable number of people, a reasonable number of people. If fair is used, a fair number of people means a good number of people. A fair amount of something means a good amount of something. So here, a fair number of people means a considerable number of people. Opposite of considerable in terms of number is negligible. A negligible means you can neglect it. It is not substantial. If it is substantial means that's an important number. That is sizable. You cannot avoid it. That's reasonably a fair number. So a fair number of people had got there before them. They must have opened the gates early. That's not fair. Complained Mrs. Patterson, who was hoping. आपको पता है बहुत बार ऐसा होता है. When you want something और किसी ने आपको बताया नहीं and you arrive late there and then you have a complaining note. That's not fair. Means this is not the treatment that I deserved. I must have been informed in advance. मुझे क्यों नहीं बताया गया? मुझसे क्यों छुपा लिया गया? हमें ही बताना चाहिए था. So when you complain, तब आप क्या कहते हैं? That's not fair. It means I did not deserve this gap of information, and this is not right. This is not proper. At least, how did you go with this thing that you should not inform me? That's not fair, right? Who was hoping to get some bargains? Bargains, you get bargains. Suppose this marker is for ₹100. Now you want to bargain. मैं तो इसके 80 रुपए दूंगा या दूंगी. आपको देना है तो दीजिए. Then you start, negotiating, you bargain. Bargain means आप दूसरे व्यक्ति का गेन कम कर रहे हो. That is bargain. मान लीजिए it is for ₹100 और आपको पता है कि मुझे ये ₹70 का आया होगा. You know that. But you need it. अब आपको पता है कि I will earn ₹30. That will be my gain. And what to do now? आप मेरे गेन को क्या करना चाहते हो? कम करना चाहते हो. इसलिए you will go for bargain. और bargain करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं? We haggle at prices. आप वो बोलता है नहीं 95 देना. देखो 85 लेना हो तो ले लो वरना छोड़ दो. Then you haggle at prices. Both. You haggle at prices. You are negotiating. You are negotiating the prices. Negotiating means there are two sides and they have some conflict. They have some disagreement. Now they are trying to arrive at an agreement. So to negotiate means there are two sides three sides or more, and they have some point of disagreement. Now, through discussion, they are trying to arrive at a consensus or at an agreement, that is negotiation. So they haggle at prices. 85 लेने हैं तो ले लो, बोला 95 में देने हो तो ले लो, चलो जी आप 92 में दे दो यार, और क्या इससे ज्यादा, 87 से ज्यादा नहीं दूंगा, 87 is the last one. Then you come and settle it, okay, go for 90. And ultimately you both agree. That is, you have been haggling at prices and you have been negotiating the prices. So when you bargain, you just haggle at prices. Bargain at some of the stalls and was worried about others getting them first. Meanwhile, Miss Thompson selected a spot where she could get a fair view of the riding events. अब यूरोप है तो you will get a fair view. आपको सीधा अच्छा दिख रहा है, right? So that nobody obstructs your view, nobody obstructs your vision. Otherwise कोई ना कोई सामने आ जाएगा. There is a tall man and you are tiny. पीछे से ऐसे देख रहे हो. And you will not be able to have a fair view of something because your view is obstructed by some figure, structure. So what do? You reach a place where it is easily and clearly visible. So you do that. She could get a fair view of the riding events. They arranged to meet later at the horticultural competition. हमने पहले भी कहा था, horticultural competition means अक्सर आप फ्लावर्स, जो आपके बेस्ट फ्लावर्स हैं, या बागवानी में आपने जो कुछ भी उगाया है, सब्जियां भी हो सकती हैं, you take that for public exhibition. और आप दिखाते हैं कि this is the quality of my produce. We have the best roses in the world. और ऐसा रोज आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. इसलिए you can buy this rose. और ऐसा रोज जब आप लेकर जाएंगे, बच्चे हो, माँ बाप हो, और यूरोप है तो गर्लफ्रेंड्स भी हो सकती हैं, जब आप उनको ये रोज दोगे ना, तो वो उनको लगेगा वाओ, दिस इज द रोज. बस मुझे ऐसा ही रोज चाहिए था जो आप लेकर आए हो, योर ड्रीम रोज. So that is right there. So there is a situation. Jen felt that it wasn't fair that they had let people in before the official opening time. The let in people means you allow people to enter. इसलिए हम क्या करते हैं, when you let in means अंदर आने दो, let in. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा inflow is known as inlet and outflow is known as outlet. Means let people in and let people out. Let means allow people to go out and allow people to come in. That is in. Inlet is for supply, this is influx, it is inflow. Outlet is for efflux, that is outflow. Got it? Flux is the flow. So you can see here with reference to a situation, Jen felt that it wasn't fair that they had let people in before the official opening time. So here, that's not fair. It means they opened the gates early, and that's not fair, means that's not right. And as complained Mrs. Patterson, who was hoping to get some bargains at some of the stalls and was worried about others getting them first. Meanwhile, Miss Thompson selected a spot where she could get a fair view of the riding events. If it is a view and you get a fair view, what does it mean? You will get a fair view, means you will get a clear and unobstructed view. Obstructed means there are some barriers, there is something that restricts it. So there is an obstruction. So that's an obstructed view or the clear view. Clear view. Clear view is fair view. Unobstructed view is fair view. And unimpeded. Ped means pedal. Pedal is foot. Unimpeded means there is no hampering, there is no obstruction. So if you have unimpeded means unrestricted, that is free view. So you get a clear view, open view, and most importantly, you get an unobstructed view. So of a person, referees are supposed to be fair people. Referees are supposed to be fair. Fair means you do not favor any side. You are unbiased. You are impartial. So judges are supposed to be, disinterested. There is an important word. If you are uninterested, means you are not interested. But if you are disinterested, it means you are interested, but you do not favor any side. It means disinterested view of life is impartial, that is objective. It means unbiased. It means you are not prejudiced. Prejudice means you have some notion, आपको पहले से विचार है, you have a पूर्वाग्रह, आपका कोई व्यू नहीं है, that is unprejudiced. So you must have an objective view. Objective means that does not have any personal emotion, personal side, personal, it does not have any personal element, a personal favor. So if it is unbiased, means it is fair. Unbiased means it is neutral. Unbiased means it is disinterested. Mind it, uninterested means you are not interested, but disinterested means it is impartial. Got it? This is very important from examination point of view also. The judges were mostly very fair people. It means they were disinterested, unbiased. There were always people who muttered about this. Muttered means they were talking. One is utter, the other is mutter, and then there is a chatter. Utter means speak. If you utter something, you speak. If you mutter means you speak something fast. You are muttering. What are you doing? You're just muttering around. It means you are speaking. And then there is a chatter. Utter. Utter as a verb is speak, and as an adjective means degree. It is utter negligence, that is ghor laparwahi. Ghor is utter. Utter, the word utter means high degree. Utter negligence, that is high, बहुत ही high degree का negligence है. Utter is used in negative sense. It is not used in positive. So you have utter, mutter, and chatter. Mutter about this and other fate competitions not being fair. If there are competitions not being fair, means if competition is not fair, means it is not impartial. Above board means it is honest. पूरी दुनिया के सामने. Not under the table, but it is above board. मतलब कुछ भी नीचे से छुप के नहीं होगा. यदि छुप कर हुआ तो that is not above board, that is under the table. Objective है, proper है, right है, that is just impartial. So that is, the people are not fair, means they are not objective, they are not honest, they are not right, they are not just. All the stallholders were trying to sell their wares. Wares matlab saman. And a young man was trying to organize a beauty competition. In aid of charity, come along fair maidens. Maiden is a woman. So fair maidens means, skin is fair. So the little girl had fair hair and she had blue eyes. Fair hair means light colored. It means not dark. It may be pale, maybe golden, or she is, pale means like she is a blonde. So maidens. Fair maiden means who had fair hair, they had fair skin, right? So fair maidens, there are excellent prizes to be won, he was calling. May was trying to persuade. Persuade means convince. किसी को अपनी बात पे राजी कर लेना. Persuade her friend Lucy to enter since Lucy was very pretty. With long fair hair and beautiful fair skin. Lucy, however, did not approve of beauty competitions. Right? If you have skin is fair, means you have white skin. The girls in the family all had beautiful fair skin. और आप जानते ही हैं, आप फेयर एंड लवली और भी बेहतर, आपको दे गोरापन सिर्फ 5 दिनों में. फेयरनेस क्रीम मीन्स आपकी स्किन को जो फेयर बनाए, इसका मतलब आपकी स्किन का कलर डार्क से कैसा कर दे, लाइट कर दे. Instead, she went over to listen to the town brass band and who were giving a fair enough performance. A fair enough performance means a satisfactory. I mean, as an adequate performance. If a performance is fair, that's a fair effort, means that's a respectable, reasonable effort. But our team did not win the match. So it's a fair performance, means it's a good performance, it's a satisfactory performance, but not as good as the year before. As always, everyone had a really enjoyable afternoon. Not only that, but a great deal of money was made for charity, right? So fate means there are some activities very much like a fair, मेले की तरह ही होता है, but in a fate, the money collected is donated to the charity, an organization that is engaged in charity, or it is directly used for some charity work. So it's a fate, and then we have, fair. It's done. And now let's move to the final lesson of our this series. I mean level 1. So the 25th word, in fact, the final word of this first level is nice. And nice is a nice word. And after this series, I mean, we have done some, this has been, pretty long. So 25 words and 10 different meanings, that means 250. And during, these 15, I mean, this is the 15th session of this series. And in these 15 sessions, we will be able to almost complete 500 plus words. If you just watch all these sessions, you will learn some interesting facts without any burden. And what is the beauty of these sessions? Story is very easy, so you can easily associate and relate. And then I have tried to give you the parallels, the other words which are important in the given context. And if you just follow these 15 sessions sincerely, you will see a tremendous improvement in your listening skills, undoubtedly. And be assured, your vocabulary will become better than it was. And most importantly, your thought pattern will also get enhanced. So here you can see the title of the chapter is A Country Theater. The country is not city. Country is village side. So if you are going to village side, you're going to there is a lump. So if you are moving to the countryside, means you are moving to the village side. So this is a country theater, means it's a village side theater. It's such a nice day. Why don't we go for a drive into the country? If you drive into the country, you're moving towards the city, or you're moving towards the villages. Villages. Said Paul, good idea, Dad, said his daughter, Sophie. What about going to that stately home, Stately home. Stately home is magnificent, grand, big, impressive. That's a stately home which has the theater attached to it. You have a theater attached to a home. So that's a magnificent, impressive, a grand. So if you say weather is nice, I hope it's a nice evening for the tennis tournament. What does it mean? It means it's lovely. And this is lovely, this is fine. It can be warm, it can be sunny, it's fair, or it can be dry. That's why it's lovely and fine. See, of scenery and views, there is some nice scenery in that part of the world. Scenery is about picture. So जो देखने में अच्छा लगे, that is picturesque, और जो देखने में अजीब सा लगे, डरावना लगे, that is grotesque. ये कैसा है? Picturesque is हिंदी में रमणीय, और ये होता तो कैसा होता हिंदी में विभास, right? That is very bad to look at. Grotesque. It is picturesque or it is grotesque. The opposite of picturesque is grotesque. Picturesque means it's beautiful, lovely, attractive. So here you can see that stately home which has the theater attached to it. Yes, said Lucy. The mother of the family, it's meant to be in the middle of some nice scenery, and a trip to the theater would be very nice. It's a bit far away, said Adam, the son of the family, looking at the map. Then suggest that I book us in somewhere nice. Book in somewhere nice, यानी ऐसी जगह को बुक करना है जो कैसी हो, nice हो. Somewhere means some place when nice to stay, and we come back tomorrow. What a very nice gesture. If the gesture is nice, it means it is generous, it's thoughtful. Generous. Accommodation, the place you stay, it's a nice place, means it's a comfortable place. But gesture means the thought you have. What do you want to share with others? A nice gesture. Cried Lucy, then commenting, we'd better pack some nice clothes. Nice clothes means stylish, good looking. I think the theater is quite smart, and it would be an opportunity for us all to go to a good restaurant for some. When Adam asked, do I have to get dressed up? His sister assured him that he did, and they all went off to get ready. They all enjoyed the play, which was staged at the theater, but Lucy thought that the actor playing the main character had overacted a bit. थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही कर दिया, right? Paul agreed but said, but there is very nice distinction between being passionate and being over dramatic. Being passionate, right? You just want to do something that you're just completely lost in the idea. Suppose you are You're like, Amir Khan or Amitabh Bachchan of filmmaking, then you are completely absorbed in your project. They are very much passionate about their work, and that distinguishes them from the other actors. What was interesting about Irfan Khan? He was passionate about his roles. He was completely absorbed. And then you have Nawazuddin Siddiqui, right? You have Pankaj Tripathi, you have Sanjay Mishra, right? Manoj Vajpayee and Rajkumar Rao. These are some of the promising actors, and that project they're completely absorbed, and that is why they speak so powerfully on screen. When somebody just starts watching them, you can't help yourself appreciating them because you will say, wow, what an acting. Because they are passionate about it. And there is a very nice distinction between being passionate and being all dramatic in parts like that. Sophie remarked that all the actors had done a very nice job and had been nice when they spoke to them. The whole family had enjoyed themselves very much and set off for home next day feeling happy. So, see, if the difference is fine, then that is subtle, and we had it. If this difference is fine, there is a fine distinction, means there is subtle distinction. There is a slight, subtle means you cannot easily identify. There is minute, there is fine drawn distinction. If a task is fine, then this is excellently performed. That's an excellent job. So, uh, I mean, Rahul made a nice job of painting the house. Nice job is efficient, excellent. And if a person is like the couple next door are very nice, means they are friendly, they are charming, and they are well behaved. So they are nice people. Nice people means they are great people. So this is how this also concludes. So in these 15 sessions, we have just uh, just started. This is simply the launch. This is for beginners. If you are not in the habit of listening to English, then these 15 sessions will help a lot. Firstly, the language used is very easy, but this will not remain the same in subsequent levels. In level 2, it's going to be at least a bit challenging. In level 3, it's a bit more challenging. And in level 4, undoubtedly, it's going to be more challenging than level 1, 2, 3. So, what is the agenda now? How can we move ahead from here onwards? Well, this series is basically not completely free. So I thought it will be a good idea to share it with you. Then, if you want to continue the other levels, then you will have the live Zoom sessions for these classes, and you will have the recordings there. So the sessions will be recorded in advance. So you will have the recording available to you a day before we have the live Zoom session. So what will you do? You will watch that lesson beforehand, then come to the live session. And that comes for a price. This vocabulary building course is priced at for different levels. So if you want to continue your classes beyond this, then you have to pay for it. It's not for free. After all, you cannot do it for such long. The studio where I'm working, I'm just trying to. We are connected through that. Also comes for a price, that comes for some cost. So undoubtedly, these sessions will have some cost, and you have to pay for that. Anybody who is interested in continuing the course, then one can send me message on 70 733 11807. So it is 70733 11807. Right? This is my number, and then we can go beyond the other levels. That includes vocabulary building, grammar, a dedicated course for grammar that comes for some 100 hours. A grammar course for someone, and so the whole course will go beyond 200 hours. So anybody who is interested in doing this, you can just send me a message. Undoubtedly, it will be affordable for everybody. It's not very expensive, but it definitely comes for a price. So you can just get connected. You just can call me, send a message. I will get back to you. I hope you enjoyed it. All these 15. We will resume our classes, online classes. They will be for SBI clerk prelims exams, but not a dedicated course in vocabulary building, not a dedicated course in learning grammar. Right? So thank you for being with us, and at least for staying all these 15 sessions. It requires patience on the part of the learner. Teachers are in general intolerable. Well, anyway, but you have stayed for such a long time. So thank you very much. And if you really loved it, enjoyed it, so please recommend these recordings to your friends, to your younger ones, and elderly or elder ones also. So thank you very much. I wish you all the best, and enjoy the Sunday. Sorry, I just, just had a session in the morning, and in general, on Sundays, people love to stay for longer, in bed. I'm really sorry I could not support your luxury. So thank you. Thank you for being so supportive, consistent, and just appreciative. So have a